Wikileaks founder Julian Assange has launched what might be his last chance to stop extradition to the US. Lawyers for the 52-year-old want judges at the High Court in London to allow an appeal against the extradition order issued by the British Home Secretary in 2022. Now, Assange is wanted by US prosecutors who intend to put him on trial on spying charges. He did not appear in court in person on Tuesday due to illness.
Outside the High Court in London, a heartfelt message from Assange's wife to supporters gathered to press for his release.
We don't know what to expect. But you're here because the world is watching.
The two-day hearing could become Assange's final battle in the UK justice system, but his lawyers say he was too unwell to attend. The 52-year-old has been fighting for more than a decade to avoid being sent to the US, where he could face life in prison if convicted on spying charges. Assange has been a wanted man since 2010, after his whistleblowing forum Wikileaks published classified US Army material supplied by an intelligence analyst. The leak contained documents and video footage from the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Some of the footage was shocking, seemingly implicating US troops in possible war crimes. If Assange's appeal fails, his backers fear his life could be at stake.
If Julian's extradited to the United States, he will die. He will not receive a fair trial.
Many of his supporters believe he's being targeted for exposing serious criminal acts by US authorities and the military.
Julian Assange is a truth teller. Okay. He is not a criminal. He shouldn't have even spent 1 second in any prison.
Campaigners pressing for his release warn this case could signal a larger threat.
He would be the first publisher tried under the Espionage Act in this way, and that is why it is so dangerous. We've seen that law being used against whistleblowers, but never before against a publisher like this. So what is at stake is really concerning.
While it's not known when the verdict will come, many already fear the possible effects on the free flow of information worldwide. If all else fails, intervention by the European Court of Human Rights may be Assange's final hope.
Let's bring in DW correspondent Charlotte Chelton-Pill, who is in London. Hi, Charlotte. Explain to us what this hearing is about exactly.
Well, Anya, this marks nothing less than the start of Julian Assange's last legal roll of the dice in the UK, his last chance to fight extradition from Britain to the US. Now, to understand what's going on in this two-day hearing, you have to really talk about what's gone before. He was previously, the extradition was previously denied on the grounds that his mental health was such that he would be a suicide risk under US prison conditions. That decision was then overturned after assurances from the United States, and an extradition order was signed. This two-day hearing is now about whether or not he can appeal that. Now, if he is successful, he'll be granted an appeal hearing. If he fails, that really will be the green light for extradition, and that could take place within weeks. So the stakes really couldn't be higher here for Julian Assange.
And what are the charges facing Assange in the United States?
Well, if he stands trial, he's facing 17 counts of espionage, 1 count of computer misuse. Now, these relate to WikiLeaks' publication of thousands of leaked military documents and diplomatic cables, many of them relating to the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now, the United States says to them this is about the manner in which that leaked material was obtained and the manner in which it was published. They have maintained throughout this that it's put lives at risk. That has been key to their argument here. But this is clearly extremely serious. His lawyers say that he would be facing a prison sentence of up to 175 years in the US, which his supporters say would be tantamount to a death sentence.
Yeah, we've seen the footage of the protests there, haven't we? What have Assange's supporters been saying about this situation?
Well, as you've seen in those pictures there was a huge crowd of supporters outside the court today, protesters, journalists, some politicians as well, all attending. To his supporters, he's a hero. He is a fighter for free speech. They argue that he is being persecuted for his journalistic work exposing US wrongdoing. That's their argument. Now, when it comes to his lawyers, his legal team, they put forward a number of arguments today against the extradition. Just to give you a bit of an overview, his lawyers said the case is politically motivated. They say it should concern journalists around the world. They say that he could face what they called a flagrant denial of justice if he's extradited. And then one of the more, should we say, eyebrow-raising parts of today was his lawyers arguing that he faced what they called a real risk of extrajudicial actions. Now, they were referring to an allegation that they raised. They claim that there was a CIA plot to kidnap and assassinate Julian Assange. So that was clearly a significant moment, though not new information, a significant argument that his lawyers made today. There have also been huge concerns about his mental and physical health. His wife, very prominent outside the court today. She says that he is a political prisoner and has said his life is nothing short of being at risk.
And Charlotte, if the court does find against him, is there still any chance of an appeal to the European Court of Human Rights?
His legal team have absolutely put that on the table as a possible next step, seeking an immediate injunction against the extradition with European judges. But such a move is far from guaranteed. The bar is very high for an injunction like that, and there is concern from his supporters that it might, should it happen, it might not come quickly enough, given the fact that it's feared that his supporters fear that extradition could come potentially within weeks.
Charlotte, thanks so much for that. That's DW correspondent Charlotte Chelsom-Pill reporting from London.